Welcome to this video. We are going to be looking at Margaret Court and the controversy around her getting an Order of Australia as someone that is most recently known for being a bigot. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and you can catch me live streaming to record these live, or you can watch the edited videos, whatever is best. So we're going to get onto it. We are going to start looking, we're going to introduce you to Margaret Court. Now, particularly, not everyone's Australian. That's a shock, I know. That's something that might come as a surprise. So you may not know Margaret Court. Now, Margaret Court, this lovely lady here, not so lovely, but I'm just being nice. Let's be polite. Let's kill them with kindness, as they say. She is a tennis superstar. Now, gun to my head, don't know what she's done in tennis. I know she's done a lot. She's had a lot of honors in terms of her tennis career, which is obviously a long time ago. But after finishing her tennis career, she moved on to being a minister for God. Now, this is the type of Christianity that I'm intimately familiar with. She is a Pentecostal minister, which is the denomination that I was back when I was a Christian. So back when I was from about the age of 15 to 21, I attended Pentecostal churches, and I was a completely committed Christian to the point where I was at Bible college and studying to become a minister myself. And I became an atheist at some point. I suppose I stopped being an active Christian first when I was about 21, and within a couple of years I probably entered into the, hey, I'm actually a atheist point at something. First, let's have a look at the character of this person. So particularly if you're not from Australia, you've probably not seen her in the news. I doubt it would make international stuff, but let's have a little bit of a listen about who is about to be honoured in Australia.
Making the decision at 7 or 8 years of age to change their sex. No, just read the first 2 chapters of Genesis. That's all I say. He made male and female. And it's so wrong at that age, because a lot of things are planted in this thought realm at that age. And they start to question, what am I? No, if you're a Christian and you believe the Word of God, this is our TV guide to life, our roadmap to success. And with that GBT, they wish they'd never put the T on the end of it, because particularly in women's sports, they're going to have so many problems. And you've got young people taking hormones and having changes. By the time they're 17, they think, but now I'm a boy and really I was a girl. Because you know what? God's made us that way. And you're going to have this. And even with the gay side of things, they've got gay marriage. That's fine. We love the people. But they've still got a conscience. And Christmas Day I had somebody phone, and I thought it was, just a phone call on Christmas Day. And I had somebody call and started to talk to me. And they had a daughter there and started to talk about, and then said, the Bible says that everybody's gay. And I'm thinking, I said, no, it doesn't.
No one said that.
And I said, I love you, but it's a choice. And we're to love the people. But you see, these things are happening, and I thought, well, that's all been dealt with. But no, it's our conscience, you see. God's given every one of us in here a conscience. There'll be people in here that are perhaps dabbling in things, struggling. But what's impossible to man is possible to God. It's overcoming. It's temporal. It's subject to change. And this is why you and I'll pass away, but his word won't.
So that's a bit of a taste of what her beliefs are. Now, she's not unusual in terms of Pentecostal theology. That's pretty down the line exactly how they believe and how they present, particularly in church. And now you might look at that and go, what's so bad? She's pretty tempered there. But I think the key is that while that is her providing her beliefs in the context of a church, and that's obviously been filmed and obviously has been reported on by the Age, she actually does actively promote things like, against gay marriage, against trans people, and their right to being included. Like, she is working towards manifesting these beliefs in society at large, not just within the congregation of people that choose to attend her services or are part of her particular belief system. She actually wants to see these changes brought about within society. Now, that's a problem to me when she is then going on to be considered for an award, particularly an award. Now, this award is something that is given to Australians who, let's have a look at the language. Let's look exactly what the award is that she is being considered for. So this is the award, the Order of Australia, that she is being honoured with tomorrow. So particularly here, where's my mouse? There we go. So individuals are appointed a Companion of the Order of Australia for eminent achievement and merit to the highest degree in service to Australia or to humanity at large. Now, I am unable to process any of this. Like how her actions and how she spent the last 30 years of her life are congruent with an award whose stated goal is to promote people who are eminently achieving and meritorious for the highest degree in service to Australia and humanity at large. Because in 2021, to have someone who is denigrating the ability of people to live the lives that they are born with is completely reprehensible. Now, this particular award as well, the way it operates and the way that it is actually given out and selected for is people are nominated, and that nomination process is private and is actually not even subject to a Freedom of Information order. And it goes to a committee for the Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia. They present their recommendations to the Governor-General, who then goes, yes, I'm on board with that. So we had a committee of people who looked at Margaret Court, looked at the life that she has led, and said her ability to hit a ball with a racket, now that's demeaning, I'm sorry, yes, sport is something that gives us an example of like the elite activity of people, you know, performing at peak human levels. That's fine. That's why they win championships. That's why they win, you know, sport-related awards. But to look at that and then go, after she did this great sporting stuff, she went on to achieve in the realm of bigotry, and still give her this award in 2021 is completely unconscionable. This is ridiculous. And what makes this worse is that when this leaked, so this actually leaked, there was a journalist who provided this story, I think 2 days ago, and basically said, hey, I think this debate needs to happen before she's awarded with the Order of Australia, not after. And they basically have then started this entire thing. What disgusts me, right, beyond the fact that this Order of Australia is being promoted, is being given, is that maybe disgust is the wrong word, but this gives us a really good insight into conservative bias and how they perceive activity or discussions around their behavior, because predictably this has become an issue of free speech. Now, my last live stream I talked about free speech a little bit. I'm not sure I navigated that conversation particularly well, so we'll have another crack at it today a little bit. But given what we've seen, given what we understand, oh, wait. Here's one. Sorry. Just for context, now I didn't have a link ready for this, but just take my word for it. You can actually Google it. You'll find it. It's fine. But Margaret Court, and I shouldn't stay on that page. I should click back when I'm just doing a talking head stuff. But Margaret Court on radio, she is quoted as making a comparison between LGBTQ activists and Adolf Hitler. Literally, Godwin's lawing activists seeking for the right for people to express their sexuality and gender in the way that they are most comfortable. She has said they are literally Hitler in the way that they are trying to bring all these buzzwords like communism and all this sort of bullshit where people go, hey, anything I don't agree with is literally Hitler, literally communism, and literally socialism, and just going absolutely off the rails with the type of conspiratorial rhetoric she uses to denigrate people of Australia. Remember, this order is about representing merit and, what was the wording again? Eminent achievement and merit. And this is the type of person and the type of rhetoric that they engage in that we are rewarding. I say we. The people of Australia haven't given this award out. The Governor-General's group that looked at this and gave it the rubber stamp, the Governor-General who accepted the nomination, and the Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, who, as far as I can tell, has the right of veto on this and has not done it. He also hasn't spoken out against it, which, I mean, fuck him. Like, at this point, fuck him. Like, seriously, he's indefensible, in my opinion. Now, the one good thing that I'm going to try and tease out of this is the way the ridiculous conservative media choose to cover these types of things. So I think based on what I've shown so far, it's pretty clear that we can go, hey, this is not in line with the broader values at large in society. Yes, there are people that have certain beliefs, particularly tied to religion, that may not be opposed to what Margaret Court is saying, but to say that this is representative of the values of Australia by bestowing this award on her, I think is beyond the pale. So let's be fair. Let's look at let's look at conservative media, and let's see what their take is on it. So let's get the other side. Let's see what is the defense of this particular action, because we're fair here, right? We're gonna give them the right to reply. Bam. Wait.
But listen, I want to come back closer to home. The big controversy, of course, as always, speech. Australia Day.
Cancellation,
Margaret
work culture. Let's go.
The lovies were out in force. Snarling.
Wait, what? What do you say? This is news, right? Now, this is Sky News Australia. Now, I know not everyone operates in Australia. Think Fox News. Now, if I was feeling uncharitable, I would say a little bit worse than Fox News because they don't get as much scrutiny as Fox News gets from, say, places like CNN. They sort of operate a little bit independently in terms of the broader narrative in Australia. I poisoned the well, I'm sorry, but Sky News is not news. It's Sky Views Australia, as in their own personal view.
Margaret Court. The lovies were out in force, snarling about the awarding of a top Australia Day gong going to Margaret.
Now, this is news, but think about the language that's already been used to denigrate the opposing side. This is not how you deliver news in a fair and balanced way. This is how you deliver opinion in a way that people accept as news and adopt as their own views.
Court. Margaret Court has responded by saying, I am a minister of the gospel. I have been a pastor for 30 years, she said. I teach the Bible, what God says in the Bible, and I think that is my right and my privilege to be able to bring that forth. Well, we were just talking, James, about Alan Dershowitz and the right of free speech. And
free speech. There it is. Free speech. Free speech apparently means that I can say whatever the fuck I want, and you can't say shit about what I say, or you can't say shit about what other people think I deserve in terms of recognition or awards for what I say, because that impinges on free speech. This is not a relevant point. This is not a coherent response to the backlash against recognition of bigotry in Australia. The idea that free speech is the issue here is a dog whistle to activate people that are just focused on the idea that free speech is an absolute that cannot be infringed in any shape or form because it is a basic human right, and make it a part of this discussion to try and pull you onto their side because they're the ones that are being reasonable, facts and logic. They're the ones defending free speech. So you can't be on the side of those that are calling out Margaret Court or calling out on the Governor General for giving her an award based on a life lived in bigotry because she was good at tennis back when she was a tennis player. And we're talking about free speech because that is the only defense that they have of this, i.e. no defense. So let's change the topic. Let's make it a real easy fucking thing to say that I believe in free speech and so she should get an award. Those two things don't follow, and we need to be really careful when we are watching media, whether it's left media, right media, whether it's center media, that they move the goalpost isn't correct, but when they introduce other ideas and try to make them relevant to the discussion, because that idea has already got an implicit outcome in what is good and what is bad that most people agree on, and they try to claim that as theirs. So in this case, the Conservatives are claiming free speech as their idea. That's pretty common these days. We see that quite a lot, that they adopt free speech as their bastion of defensibility for the horrible things they say and do. And they try to pull you across to their side by appealing to that rationalization of free speech. What we need to do is we need to identify when irrelevant comparisons are made to fundamental rights or responsibilities of citizens and disregard them. So free speech, nothing to do with this. Your free speech is not impugned or extended by getting an Order of Australia. She is not going to have a better platform. Well, she might have a better platform because she's got an Order of Australia, but she doesn't have a right to that. Like, that's not a natural right that, like, I'm not going to get an Order of Australia. And yet I still have the ability of free speech.
Freedom of speech. James, what do you think about Margaret Court? Does she have the right of free speech?
Not one of these three people are going to see. Anyway, we're going to see what these other Sky Views people have to say about them. This free speech issue, which, let me remind you, not a free speech issue.
Or is she this dreadful evil person that the left would tell us?
Yes.
Well, she has the right of free speech, but I don't think that many people are keen to honor it at the moment. You know, we're in this sort of funny position, you know, where this kind of...
It's not funny. It's not funny. It's fucking not relevant. Like, I don't give a shit if you're wearing glasses and a suit on Sky News. Anyone in chat, does anyone think I'm out of line by saying that this is not a free speech issue? Because no one's telling her to stop being a bigot. They're telling the Governor General that she shouldn't be awarded for being a bigot.
You know, there's the sexual revolution is a big part of the woke religion.
Woke religion. Testify. That's my favorite GIF at the moment, if you see on Twitter.
That's basically infected, you know, so much of our culture and society right now. And because she doesn't agree...
Woke culture isn't infecting society, it's curing society.
...with everything, and she won't take the knee to the media line on gay marriage and...
So I haven't watched this. I just collected these. I try to just watch enough. So I know that it's going to be worth reacting to. Honestly, Sky News, anything Sky News is fucking gold. But what are they referring to when they say take the knee? What's the illusion that they're going for with take the knee? Is there any cultural moment in recent history that has to do with equality and rights and like social justice that take the knee could be alluding to? Fucking pigs.
Transgender issues and things like that. She's not, you know, saying hateful things. She just says that she disagrees with gay marriage. And so this, of course, because she won't bend the knee to that position, she now has to be unpersoned, despite the fact that she does a huge amount of charity work in Western Australia. In Perth, she runs a charity, a church-based charity that hands out food and all sorts of things to homeless people. You know, all sorts of things we consider great work, but no, because she doesn't agree on this one particular issue.
It's not one issue. It is multiple issues. It is the issues on gender. It is the issues on sexuality. It is on the issues of the right for people that are not part of your religion to not be held to your standards. It is about the fact that she actually actively campaigns against this shit. Like, she isn't just... Just let's keep going.
And says so, then somehow she's not worthy of any honor, and all her other achievements, you know, the 24 Grand Slams, the tons and tons and tons of food delivered to the homeless and the hungry and the needy, all of that goes by the wayside because, of course, she isn't woke and she won't bend the knee to wokeness, and she refuses to say, you know what, I will reconsider my positions and I will, you know, bow down before you, because, of course, she bows down to a higher authority. And frankly, even if you don't agree with her, you do have to respect the fact that she said this. And I would say one other thing. It's funny that they're going after her because she's a Christian, and I just wonder if people from other faiths, which also have exactly the same views about...
Yeah, we didn't go after the Islamic faith, did we? We didn't go after the Hindus. The issue is that Christianity in Australia is the dominant religion. It is a religion that has the most political power. It is the religion where our Prime Minister actually practices. This is the same... Denomination's a tricky word because these particular Christians, the Pentecostals, they are fucking everywhere. There's a few different denominations within Pentecostalism. So if I say our Prime Minister is a Pentecostal, some people might actually themselves out of it. But our Prime Minister is a Pentecostal. He shares this theology. So to be fair, not all Pentecostal churches necessarily are as focused on the issues of LGBTQ in terms of being activists against it. But fuck me, they're not far away. He wouldn't say no to this. This is I just keep thinking, like, the words I need to say is my Prime Minister is... What's the word? My Prime Minister actually likely believes this. If he doesn't believe it, he is likely not against it either. If you know that slight distinction there. Holy shit. One out of the three.
Rita, I think perfect moment.
One at a time. Jesus Christ. Have they not done a live stream?
Rita, go on, Rita.
Not exactly the same. Far more negative attitudes to those lifestyles.
Who throws people off buildings, I wonder? Yeah.
Well,
what? Who throws people off buildings? Hang on.
Not exactly the same. Far more negative attitudes to those lifestyles.
Who throws people off buildings, I wonder? Yeah.
What is that reference? Who throws people off buildings? I might be missing some cultural event where someone got thrown off buildings.
Well, never mind that. I mean, it's the law. We talked about Iran having a go at Australia at the UN this week. Homosexuality in a bunch of Middle Eastern countries is a crime that is punishable by death in some of them. I mean, this is something that they left never tackle, but if a...
Because we don't live in those countries, it is not a issue that we have the immediate action, the immediate access to address in the same way that I can address Margaret Court being given a fucking Australian order.
Woman who has devoted her life after elite sport to helping the poor, to feeding the homeless, and they have absolutely lost their minds. And the attacks against her. Now, Margaret Court and I could not be more different in I'm an atheist, she's a devout Christian.
Her serve's not as good as yours. Come on, Rita.
Yeah, I've got a mean backhand, I've got to tell you. But if you can't comprehend why she's got this honour, then really there's something wrong with you. It's because she has devoted her work to helping the needy, to charitable pursuits. And you know what? Didn't we have a plebiscite recently, and 2 out of 5 Australians, if I remember correctly, voted no to same-sex marriage. So yes, it's the minority view, but it's not a fringe minority. 2 out of 5
ISIS stuff, right?
is a great many Australians. And
so it's still
how would they feel
not as bad as
Margaret
ISIS,
Court
so give her an award.
Because she's not for same-sex marriage, as if she doesn't even have a right to an opinion and a right to have honours bestowed upon her.
Well,
okay, conflated. 2 things right there, sentence by sentence, so we can see perfectly clear exactly what I was saying at the start of this, that they're conflating the ability to be honoured as a fucking eminent achievement, meritorious for humanity in Australia, and her right to her opinion. 2 different things, not the same thing. Saying she shouldn't get an Order of Australia is not saying she shouldn't have her opinion. She should have her opinion, and she should be fucking buried. Verbally speaking, that was a poor choice of words, but she should be absolutely ruthlessly in the marketplace of ideas deconstructed for hating people for who they are. Now, they want to go and say she's done all this other charity work. Now, maybe she has done all this great work where she's given food to the poor, but that doesn't change the fact that she is a bigot, that she is hateful, and that a large percentage of the population would identify in the groups that she thinks are not valid expressions of being a person. Now, I can guarantee you they buried you. Whoops, clip that and ship that and get me cancelled by the work left. Now, I guarantee that you will find people that have done charitable things. You will find people that have dedicated their lives to the enrichment and the betterment of people in Australia who have not also, in their time, used their platform to spread hate and bigotry. This is not about going, hey, what she did that is good is meaningless. This is about saying that the holistic nature of the person being honoured is what's at stake here, and I think that's a criticism that is absolutely fucking relevant to someone being given an honour that essentially says this is the type of person Australia wants to show as being Australian. Australian, mate. Australian, you know? Jeez. Is this almost over? I fucking hate Sky
I was
News.
appalled by the reaction of the press, including, I have to say, Rita, the Herald Sun down in Melbourne, just scathing about Margaret Court, toxic views, hate person, on and on they go. Seriously, the media, honestly.
Right. That's that, I don't know what else there is to say about that, I guess. Like, I had a few other bits and pieces. Shut up. Why isn't that clicking? So, what I'd suggest, if any Australians, if you go to the Governor-General's website, you'll actually find a contact us. I would recommend that you send in any concerns that you have if you find this to be offensive and demeaning to it. There's a previous recipient of the Australian Order of Australia who actually, is part of the LGBTQ movement, who is rescinding their Order of Australia because they feel that it is incompatible with their views and their values if it is being awarded to people that are at the caliber of Margaret Court. Now, I will also remind everyone that this is not something that just got dug up out of history because Margaret Court got mentioned again. She was actually in the news about 12 months ago, about a year ago, because she was being honoured in the realm of tennis, and there were some other tennis athletes who were, they didn't really want her representing tennis as a whole because of her problematic views, and I can see that. I'm not going to get into that because I'm not a tennis player. I certainly wouldn't want her necessarily to be the name on a particular tennis, whatever the fuck they call it. I'm not a sports person, all right? I'm not a sports person. But yeah, like, fuck. Why is this so fucking hard? I hate Pentecostals. Look, you may have noticed on this channel that I'm not as laser focused on atheism activity anymore. This live stream kind of debunks that because, we've got Pentecostals. The next thing I want to look at is the fucking Atheist Alliance shit. And the Christians react to fucking... But I did a video on toxic masculinity. That had nothing to do with atheism. But yeah, I'm trying to deal with more social issues and things like that, so we'll go with that, shall we? Yeah, Australia, don't give awards to bigots. Like, fuck. Like, it's... Amazing. So yeah, that's that. Great video. I'm going to continue live streaming, but this is just a bit, like I said, I'm editing these down. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that, remember to subscribe and hit like button. Hit the like button if I want to use proper English with proper syntax. And yeah, so